Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters, or Mikaela Peters as they call me in Finland. So I'm currently feeding the baby, and I was like, should I try to make it look like I'm wearing stuff? And I'm like, you know what? I'm wearing a tank top for all you know, so whatever. Okay, so that's that, and I guess today I want to talk a little bit about how the family baby team thing works. So the whole point of this is to make sure that you're not having issues caring for the baby. One thing I'm currently concerned about with my baby is that she has like a heat rash type of thing on her neck, which apparently can come from like being sweaty and it being hot in that area not fully drying. That's been really hard to avoid because it's been so hot in the apartment that even with a fan, which I'm not supposed to blow directly on the baby according to the nurses at the hospital, it's hot. So yeah, it's kind of an unavoidable problem. Now, what are some of the other challenges? That was my biggest challenge. I'm still worried about her forehead because we had to do this vacuum extraction thing, and it's like there's still a bump there, and people are like, don't worry about it, but I am. Also, I thought she had a birthmark on top of her forehead, and it turns out that might be from the fetal heart rate monitor that was on her during the time that I was giving birth. So, all that fun stuff I learned today. Also, I should probably put some baby oil on her dry feet. Okay, I think that's about everything I learned. I think they also mostly want to make sure that mental health-wise you're doing okay. And I was like, honestly, so like how long has it been now? It's been like not even 2 weeks. So it's still pretty new. And I was like, out of those, I don't know, 10 days, I think I've probably had like one day that was really bad. And I think it was because I had to go to the doctor's 2 days in a row. So I had to wake up 2 days in a row early. And then that kind of messed with me being able to get adequate sleep. Because I realized, all right, now she's like, I'm done feeding and I'm just sleeping. So this is the phase we're in now. But sometimes they like being held, so we're just gonna do that. I don't know how much I love this chair because it kind of leans back a little bit, like too much, but whatever. Okay, yeah, this is the point at which I would prefer to put her down, so maybe I'm gonna go do that first. Okay, so that was totally incorrect. This is the whole she's just wanting to be held thing, so we're just gonna do that while this is happening. I'll be honest, it's incredibly hard to get all the things done on the computer I currently need to get done, which is a grant application, applying for her residence permit, and, she may still want to eat. I think that's what's happening here, so let's take care of that. But yeah, so basically these things that are happening, like, on the computer that I have a hard time getting to because, it's a little bit hard to use both hands when this kind of situation is happening. So, essentially, I'd say that's, like, the actual hard part. But the thing I did say today was, like, I realize she's not going to be this little forever, so, like, you know, focusing on that and enjoying this, because it's, like, cute, they're so small, and then they get bigger, and then they require different things, and then they become more independent. So, that's that. You know, they still kind of think they're, like, attached to you at this point, so, yeah. But yeah, there was only one day I was, like, upset, and that was, like, on Friday, and then that was when I also was, like, I don't understand how you leave your kid kind of thing, and then whatever. It was just I felt weird that day, and then they went away. So some days some days are bad days. I don't know. That's just, like, life in general. So, yeah, but, you know, discussing, like, whatever other things I was worried about, besides just, like, this with taking care of the baby. She doesn't like taking a bath. Apparently that's normal. You know, it's not, like, the hardest thing to do. Yeah, so it's, like, some parts of her are dry and how to rectify that. Yeah, I don't know, just talking about a lot of that stuff. And then, you know, I was also just, like, I mean, the reality is it's, like, the baby only wants 3 things, which, again, is, like, a diaper change, especially after, like, a huge poop, what's it called, the, needing to eat, like, currently, or the, what's the other thing, wanting to be held. Yeah. So I was also asking about like, oh, like what about breastfeeding in public? And apparently that's like totally okay in Finland, not taboo at all. People like kind of support it and think it's good. Because I've been doing that quite a bit because it kind of helps prevent her from crying, especially if I need to like transport her for like about 20 minutes. And apparently as they get older, they'll go longer stretches of time without needing to be fed. So apparently this is seriously not going to last forever. And so I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's just like only 3 reasons why she could be crying. And like, yeah, I'm like mostly alone, most of the time. I mean, I have friends who come over and sometimes like will hold her while I get things done, or if I ask them to do something, they'll do something or cook me something or something like that. So that's very nice. Yeah, I mean, like, this is the problem is like, I'm supposed to be like, this is so hard. Like, but it's not. Like, I mean, I have thought about, like, okay, if I had one other person here with me, like, right now, I really need to empty the washing machine, but she's been pretty much, like, alert for the last several hours, so that hasn't happened, so just sitting there, and that kind of grosses me out. But I was able to unload the dishwasher while I was holding her, so, yeah. But anyway, back to this appointment, because the appointment happened during the 1 hour she was asleep today, and, then she woke up, and then it was, like, change the diaper, feed her. Then I fell asleep with her because I was tired, and then she woke up and she ate again. She needed another diaper change, and then now she's eating again. And I've been trying to eat. That gets to be the hard part is when I need to eat and I can't eat, and then like I have this little seat thing that I put her in, and I put her in that while I was taking a shower today. That was actually like why I bought the seat thing. But yeah. Okay, anyway, my whole point with this is like I kind of like I really strategized this a lot prior to her being born and knowing I was going to be alone. So yeah, aside from the fact that I have a bunch of like food in the freezer, but then the thing is I need to like be able to eat it, which is kind of hard when like I was trying to finish eating my salad while she was wanting to eat, but then I like dropped a cucumber on her head and I was like, ew, it grossed me out, so then I took a break. Yeah, but anyway, so, okay, at the end of all this, I'm just like, it seems like I'm doing fine. I mean, my house is relatively clean. That's just a me problem in general. And so that's like the first priority. So when she's sleeping, I'm doing that stuff and not being on the computer, which is like kind of more urgent, but I'm procrastinating. So she's the baby team person. She's like, you're doing a perfect job. It sounds like, it's been really easy for you. Also, like, she could just be a good baby. It's not like she, like, is having any problems, and she's pretty healthy. So, like, I'm also very lucky with that. But, in general, like, maybe because it's, like, it's, like, a very natural thing. And then also it's, like, I'm, like, explaining, I'm, like, at this point, it's, like, the idea of being separated from my baby is, like, really uncomfortable. Like, if she's in the next room over, that's, like, different. And if I know she's, like, being supervised or I know she's, like, sleeping, at some point that she's going to start rolling. Luckily, that hasn't happened yet, but, I got to be prepared for that, too. And then at that point, I'll probably start actually putting her to sleep in the box instead of on the bed, which I've traditionally been doing. So, yeah, but, I mean, I think it's really cool that they have, like, this team that comes out to make sure you're okay. I'm going to touch base with them again next month, but, like, things are really going okay. The social workers will also, like, make sure things are going okay. I think that's how that works. Yeah, and so then I'm just trying to handle all this legal stuff for her. Like, I have to get her residence permit, but for some weird reason, like, the U.S. Embassy is not getting back to me, and I've been emailing them like crazy for, like, over a week, and I'm like, I get that we're just coming out of July, but, like, the problem is I have to fly with her relatively soon. This is why I'm, like, really annoyed. Another random story I'm going to tell just in the context of, like, things going okay is, like, apparently my one friend told her friend who has 2 kids about my situation. I was like, oh my gosh, it must be so hard. And she's like, I don't know, she seems like she's doing fine. And then she's like, how is that possible? And then she was kind of like, I guess, comparing herself or upset about this. And I found this very interesting. And she's like, what was I supposed to say to her? I'm like, I don't know. I would just be like, well, she's doing okay now, but you never know how things are going to go. So, like, hopefully it stays easy for her. She's like, but yeah, but I don't think things are going to get harder for you. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know the future. I stopped pretending that I knew the future a long time ago when I realized it was stupid and didn't really work. Anybody who pretends they know the future, it's just, like, hindsight bias at that point, in my opinion. Yes. So, I don't know. I mean, like, the thing I keep saying is like this is not hard, it's just time consuming, but I think it is like natural. It's like actually yeah, I'm gonna go into some other random like interlude that kind of has nothing to do with this exactly, but I started thinking about like I never thought this to myself until today. Like, I'm very lucky to be a woman because, yeah, childbirth is terrible, and I know no man wishes he had to go through that, but, like, it was an interesting experience, even though it was terrible. So we have that going on. That was cool. And then also, like, the bond that you have with a mother, as a mother with your child, is, like, something a father will never have with the child. Like, because, unfortunately, it's good, and kids should have their dads. Like, I do believe that. However, like, they need their moms more. Like, their moms feed them, and their moms take care of them and nurture them, and, made me just think about how important the relationship that somebody has with their mom definitely is. Probably more important than that with their father. I mean, this is a hot take, but it is a take I had this morning. Because, I also started thinking about just, like, how comfortable and familiar things are maybe with people who remind me of my mom, and like thinking about my own relationship with my mom, and I think definitely having my own child has enhanced my relationship and my appreciation with my own mom. So yeah, my mom was not really happy about me giving birth in Finland, but now she's coming out here next week, so I guess she got over it. And my mom is like video calling me every single day to see the baby, and she's really excited about her, so I think okay. I think that's all going to be really good. So it's very exciting. But yeah, so the thing is also like babies, once they come out, they think they're like still attached to you for like, I don't know, they call it the fourth trimester. It's probably another 3 months. So they, they want to be near you. They're used to your smell. They're used to your voice. They're like, you smell like milk, which is like the primary thing they're after. Who doesn't love food? I know I do. Oh yeah, I love how I've gotten these comments where it's like, you're fat, you need to lose weight. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And what am I supposed to say to that? This is mostly from like, this is a Russian person thing, I think. Yeah, that's pretty common. I've not noticed that in Finnish culture, but like in Russian and post-Soviet culture, they're very like, for some reason, if somebody hasn't seen you in a while, they feel the need to comment on your weight, even if your weight is relatively stable. This was like traditionally a problem I had. Yeah. But anyway, so we're probably going to go transfer to the bed or something because I think she's actually starting to sleep, which means I can finish eating my salad, and it also means that I can finally put away the laundry. And then at some point I need to start filling out applications online, and that's basically what my days look like. And honestly, it's just like a chill version of a work day. It's a very cute version of a work day. Although the one thing I don't like is that your brain literally becomes dumber, and I feel like I cannot keep track of appointments or remember anything that's happening. Should probably start writing that kind of stuff down. Yeah, that would be smart. But yeah, so I think I just am enjoying this experience too much to be like, this is terrible. And then also, like, it's literally such a short period of time, and babies grow so fast and change so much, so it's like you may as well just sort of, like, enjoy the experience, because if you don't, then, like, that was a waste. Like, the childbirth thing was really hard. I better enjoy this part of it, because this is, like, I enjoy not being in excruciating pain. Probably as much as the next person, but, like, really. So, I mean, this is just, yeah, another thing is, like, you're programmed to be really uncomfortable with your own baby's cry. So, yeah, that is something that happens for sure. And then apparently, because today she was telling me that you can just kind of like talk to the baby. It's not like you exactly have to stop what you're doing. Because I was saying that's like a hard part is if I'm in the middle of something, like I just got out of the shower and then she starts crying because she had a poopy diaper. Then that it's sometimes hard to balance meeting her needs immediately and dropping my own needs. So sort of learning to balance that better. But yes. All right, she looks like she wants a more comfortable spot to sleep than my arms, so we're going to transfer. But yeah, so basically it's super cool that the family baby, oh, now she's awake. Oh, no. Does she want to eat again? Yeah, this is kind of how it goes. Yeah. Sometimes you just, like, look at them and talk to them because they're so cute. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I think it's cool that Finland has these resources available because I'll tell you the U.S. definitely does not. And yeah, I mean, I did also admit, like, I had a lot of people in the U.S. who were, like, really worried about my mental health after giving birth, but, like, honestly, I was, like, I just had a lot going on, and I was, like, really stressed out, like, in terms of family stuff, so, like, I was just kind of wanting to be alone, and, like, I think that's what it comes down to, like, I am enjoying being alone with my child, because we're going to be BFFs for life. I mean, actually, maybe not. Codependency was another thing I discussed because I was like, I know I like sleeping in the bed with her, but like at the point when she's supposed to sleep by herself, I want to make sure she's not like, doing codependent behaviors because I want them. So that was one thing. But we're talking about co-sleeping, and generally it tends to be okay, but, you don't really need to do, ouch. Okay. So, I don't know. But the co-sleeping is also, like, a widely debated thing in the U.S., and that's the problem, is you'll hear so many, like, this and that, and then also, like, I don't feed her on a schedule. I'm just, like, I just intuitively feed her when I know she's hungry, and then, they thought, like, this woman thought that was good, so I was like, yeah, I mean, I just kind of do what I think I'm supposed to do at that moment. So, yeah, so the point is, adjusting motherhood's been, like, kind of chill. I mean, I just keep saying it, I'm not working, and, like, I don't have much going on, so it's, like, nice. And then, it's not January right now, so, like, even though I'm not going outside as much as I'd like to, mostly because, I'll be honest, it still hurts when I walk. I mean, I enjoy looking at the sunshine, even through although the windows here are so giant, this is, like, very different than the U.S., so it's pretty easy to, like, especially I have a great view outside my window right here, which is why I wanted to live here, and it's really nice. Okay, well, I'm gonna go do stuff now. Until next time, bye.